Good morning, everyone, and welcome to La Soufrière today, where we give information on the latest activity at the La Soufrière volcano in St. Vincent, which is currently erupting. And with us, we have this morning Professor Richie Robertson, who is the lead of the scientific team on island. Good morning, Richie. How are you?
Good morning, Stacey. I'm fine. Thank you.
Good. And just to clarify, we're currently in an effusive eruption. We're continuing with an effusive eruption at this time. But I know today, April 5th, we have had some volcano tectonic earthquakes occurring. So can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, since about 6:38 a.m. this morning, 5th of April, we had a swarm of volcano-tectonic earthquakes started at the volcano. The numbers and magnitudes have increased until about 8:30, and they're continuing. It's continuing at a fairly steady rate. The largest earthquake so far in the swarm occurred at 9:20 a.m., which had a magnitude of 3.5, and it was reported felt by people living close to the volcano. But other VT earthquakes that happened in the swarm so far, some of them are big enough to be felt. So it's possible that people might be feeling some of the events, and in fact, as the swarm continues, that you may have others that are bigger that could be felt. Now, this swarm of VT earthquakes have been located at a depth of around 6 kilometers below the summit of the volcano. This is slightly deeper than the VT activity, which was recorded on between the 22nd and 25th of March. These were located at depths of about 3 to 5 kilometers, so it's slightly deeper. So that's what's been happening. And as I might have indicated before, this kind of activity seems to be the kind of activity that we're in at the volcano, where in addition to having these dome emplacement events, which are related to the magma that is at the surface coming out, you could have periods of volcanotectonic earthquakes. And the swarms of them could happen where you could have periods where you have lots of them happening in a short period of time. And because VT earthquakes, the process by which they are formed, involve a lot more energy, it's possible that these events could be felt, unlike the other events that we've been experiencing so far. So it's a period of activity we're in now, and people shouldn't be surprised that it happens. Now, it's possible that these VT earthquakes could continue, could get bigger, could get more, and could lead to some sort of different kind of activity, like explosive activity or faster dome growth and things like that. And therefore, we need to keep a very close eye on them, and we need to be in a heightened state of alert when they happen. But at present, we're still at the beginning of one, and it's probably likely that it might die out before the end of the day, but it's something to bear in mind.
Okay, so I want to ask, what does this mean? I mean, does it mean that that in an explosive eruption we're getting closer to that, or what does it mean? This is our second swarm of VTs now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, VT earthquakes, what people should bear in mind is that VT earthquakes are caused by, and we think scientifically they're indicative of magma or molten material beneath the surface of the ground trying to get to the surface. And what happens as this material pushes out, it has to fracture the rock, it has to break the rock that's above it. And when it breaks the rock, it sets up a vibration that we see as VT earthquakes. So VT earthquakes are indicating to us that magma in the last week, the events that we had in 22nd to 25th was between 3 and 5 kilometers. This one is 6 kilometers. Sort of magma around that kind of depth. There's a pool of magma that's trying to get through around that kind of depth. Now, why that is important is because we know that the effusive activity that's happening, the magma that is there, it obviously doesn't have enough energy to become explosive. It's just simply oozing out. That's more at the surface at the top. Now, if there's fresher magma comes in that has more energy, has more gas in it, it's a possibility that it would affect the way in which that material is coming out, that it could either increase speed at which it's coming out, or else it could cause explosions to happen. So VT earthquake activity is one of the signs that we look for indication that this is probably this volcano is wanting to go through an explosive activity. So what it means is that we have to keep a close eye on it. It means that this volcano might be telling us that it wants to do something a little bit different, and therefore we have to be in this heightened state of alert when it's doing this kind of activity, and therefore be ready to respond if needed, if it goes explosive.
What should people be doing now?
Well, they should be doing, they should really make sure that they know exactly where they are. Yeah, are you in the orange zone, red zone? What's your plan? What's the community plan? What's your individual plan for responding? If you're in the red or orange zone, it more than likely you will have to evacuate. Certainly the red zone, the people who are in the red zone who are on the volcano itself, if it goes explosive, they will have to move south. And by now they should know, or if they don't know already, they should start finding out where you're going, where the shelters, where, or do you have a plan individually to go to someone, to stay with someone. So you need to have a plan in place in case it goes explosive. We're not saying that this is saying that it will now, but this is telling us that it could. It's giving us a little bit more energy, a little more indication that this volcano is not happy with the conditions. And if volcanoes are not happy, as this one is, it's showing all the signs. It's telling us that we really need to make sure we have our plans and protocols and our measures in place to be ready to respond. So what people should be doing, educate yourself, listen to authoritative sources of information, know what to do, when to do it, know who you have to listen to, where you have to go, all of those kind of things. Plans, readiness, heightened state of alert. Other than that, go about your life as you would normal, given that you live on a volcano, on a volcanic island that could be explosive. Other than that, you need to be aware, need to be prepared in case something nasty happens than what's happening now.
Okay, and I know you and the team would have done, of course, some drone surveys of the crater last week and some other visits. Anything significant that you quickly want to share on that before we wrap up?
Well, one of the things that we were concerned about when we had the VT swarms before is whether or not it had affected the system up there, whether it has caused the rate of growth to change, anything had changed. And so far, it doesn't seem to have had much effect. The dome seem to be coming out at more or less the same rate. We'll validate that by some measurements, analyzing the drone surveys we did. But so far, things don't seem to be fundamentally changed from the activity that we had. You know, if we have another swarm now, we would want to see if it's made a difference, because that's one of the things. We want to see how the stuff that is trying to come through, has it got through? Has it changed something at the top? So far, not, but it's something to keep looking at and keep checking on.
All right, thanks a lot, Richie, for the update, and good luck to you and the team. And we remind our viewers and listeners that the NEMO and the UWI Seismic Research Center are the official sources of information on the ongoing eruption of La Soufrière volcano in St. Vincent, and that visits to the summit at this time are strictly prohibited. Thanks, everyone, and take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.